All right, here we go, y'all. Little Usagi, Yojimbo, coming right at you. So we're going to start towards the top of the page. You want to leave a little bit of space from the top of your page. We're going to start with the cocoa. And we're going to start with a nice sad face. Now, from the left and the right of the sad face, his whiskers are the letter M or W. And you want to close the whole gap with a happy face. Let me make that a little bit. I want to add a little bit more whisker there. And I'm going to give it a little happy face like that. Boom. Let's go straight to the bunny ears. So it looks like a little rectangle. I put two diagonal lines and a sad face across the top. And I'll put a diagonal line there for what holds his bunny ears. And you can see that his bunny ears, right, are like a letter S or really a question mark. I do them like a little question mark. And then I'll put a little happy face there and I'll do the same like parallel line, a little question mark. This one I'll go sad face, happy face, and close it again with another happy face. From the side of the whisker, his arm is just a rectangle. The only difference is instead of making it straight, for me, you can make it straight, is that I just give it a little curve. I give that rectangle just a little curve. If I take my pencil and I place it, let me zoom in so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to place it right here off the side of his head. I'm going to give you the body by just using a square. And then not at the top, but if I indent and I add another square or rectangle, I'll have the other arm. Let's add a little detail here in the center. His belt, just a little square right there. And I'll put parallel line, 1, 2, 1, 2. And I'll add the little bows coming out, which is just number 1, a little happy face. And you could take your eraser and erase, if you have anything inside like I do, you want to erase anything inside the bows right there. Clean it up. Boom. Looks nice. And his gi is just happy face to the left. You want to add 2 number 1s there. And you want to add the little symbols. And I just put triangle in there. Just want to put some triangles. Later, you could put all the little dots that Stan Sakai does that we saw in the video. If you saw the video, and he takes his time to add those little dots. Let's go ahead and let's just do this little part of the robe too, of the gi. So again, you could just use triangle, but I like to curve my line. I like to curve my line and close it, but you can use triangle. It's the same deal. It's fine. Now the hands and the arms, you put number 1, number 1, number 1, number 1. For the one here on the left, that's super easy. That's happy face, close it with 2 number 1s. I put a happy face for a thumb and 1, 2 for the fingers. You put rectangle here for the hilt and you put rectangle there for the handle of the sword. And then just finish. Make sure that your sword lines up with your handle. If it doesn't, you're kind of not drawing it right. Okay, so I have my sword. On the other side of the street, you could use sad face, happy face number 1. You could use that. That's fine. Looks great. For me, like I like to add the knuckles, so I just put the letter L. And I'll do like the letter M and a happy face. That's how I like to draw it. But I showed you the alternative. And my sword goes off the page. You might have to draw the whole thing. You can go like this too. Give it a little bit of motion right there. Right? Looks nice. The face, before we continue on with the rest of his body. So right in the middle, right where the top of the whiskers are, okay? You want to add the letter L, happy face, sad face. And I like to give him like these little triangles here, make him look like he's angry. He's got a scar. And I put just a little bit of hair with the letter M. Sad face in between your letter L's with a triangle pointing down for the nose. Right by there, I just put sad face, the number 1. I'll put a little happy face there. And I'll draw his teeth, just a little rectangle there. And what he's doing is he's holding on with his teeth. He's holding on to the reins of the horse. But we'll draw the reins a little later. Let's finish his leg, which is, again, rectangle, okay? But I like to curve out my rectangle. You don't have to, but I like to. I can add a little happy face there for the inside of his gi. The letter L will give you a foot. Number 1, sad face. And the letter V for his sandal. And you should have Usagi. Now for the horse. And the horse, I'll start right here. I'll put my pencil right there where the gi is. And I'll draw a nice long sad face. And if you did My Last Unicorn or My Little Pony or both, this should be easy for you. Now right there where I started, I'll just do I'll do number 1. See how they overlap? And then I'll do the letter L. Notice that I curved that a little bit. So kind of like you want to pay attention to that, right? So then I'll put sad face, happy face, and then I'll go not at the edge, but I want to indent, put the letter L, and then I'll put like a little M or W, and then it's sad face, happy face. And right here where I started this number 1, or I did a sad face, and then I did number 1, right there I do the letter L. And I'll put happy face, and I can add one more if you want to. The nose is just like a letter J, and then his ears are like triangle. I just erased that one. Don't erase this one. And I can add his mane. And now if you want to, you can add from here, the reins that Usagi is holding with his teeth. Now, this front leg right here, I'll just do like sad face right here, right roughly where this jawline is. And I'll draw the number 1. And then I will put, this looks like a letter L upside down. Turn that into a rectangle. And bring this like a letter J. There you should have one hoof coming up. From that hoof, see how I did this W? I'll put happy face to that foot. I can add now some muscle lines like that for my horse. A knee. And then right here where this happy face is and Yosagi's foot, sad face, and close it. And you have the other foot and hoof. Then the last thing I need are these 2 legs, the back legs, the hind legs. I'll start exactly right here where I did this front leg, happy face. And I'll put a parallel happy face right here from this leg. This looks like, again, I'll put right here the letter L. Close it. And here I'll put like sad face. Looks like I'm going to close it, but I'm not. And I just come around and finish that foot. And you should have your Usagi on top of the horse. Now, I'm going to show you how to draw 3 different ninjas. The other ninjas, you're responsible to figure out on your own based on what I'm about to show you. So let's start with this guy over here. Start with this guy. And all the ninjas are the same. And I'm going to have to give you this guy here because part of him is missing. So I'll show you this one too. So all the ninjas are the same. You start with a number 1 for the top of the coco. Then you go happy face, and I go to number 1 and a happy face again. So I have his head and his mask. Triangle for the face, triangle for the ears. Now from the top here, this arm is just rectangle. And this one here is also like a rectangle. And all I got to do now is close this. Later, I'm going to show you how to draw that leg, and we're going to get rid of it and whatnot. Right above his head, rectangle. Little rectangle gives you a thumb. Same here, but you're going to put the thumb on the other side. Rectangle stacked, thumb on the other side. Number 1 here, connecting. Number 1 there, connecting. There's little details here, such as happy face on both. Number 1, number 1, number 1, number 1. You see that I had shaded that in because that's going to go black. The hilt of the sword is a trapezoid and a number 1. Now, the bottom half. First, I'm going to draw this leg because it's easy. It's just rectangle. Number 1, happy face, and I put my V. There's a leg and a foot. You want to draw that belt, put a square, put the bow, just like we did for Usagi. I'm only going to put it there because over here I'm going to go sad face. Now I can erase what's inside. Sad face, number 1. Happy face, some diagonal lines. Close whatever little gap you might have. And you should have that ninja jumping up. Let's draw this one here that I told you about that's kind of missing in parts. So I'm going to start again with his head, his cocoa. Number 1, happy face, happy face. Number 1, happy face. Triangle, triangle, triangle. Now what I did was I put a rectangle here coming up. And I'll put sad face, happy face, make that into a rectangle, parallel line, close it. And I'm going to add the little belt now. And I don't have space for the hand, but I'll put 2 number 1s there. I'll put a rectangle here. Rectangle, number 1, number 1. That happy face, number 1, number 1. And you should have now, and then this part here will be like the handle of the sword, right? Like this piece will be like the handle of the sword. And then I'm just going to draw one sad face, letter L, put your number 1, turn it into the letter L, number 1, sad face. And here I'm just going to put one ninja going from the back. Okay, so I'm going to put a little number 1 there so I know where to stop. One last ninja. That's number 1, happy face, happy face. Number 1 again, happy face. Triangle, triangle. I don't have to draw anything else because this guy is from the back. Sad face, rectangle. I want to close it here. And you see now I got overlapping, so I don't have to even draw too much more of that ninja. And I'm going to draw this guy's, let's draw his hand right quick. Number 1, you already know how to draw the hand. It's just rectangle. Rectangle for a thumb. Happy face, 1, 2. You want to put your sword in there. And anything inside of that sword, you might want to erase it so you have some proper overlapping. And then let's put his leg coming up this way. Sad face. Bring it back. Draw your number 1, just like you did that foot. L, number 1, sad face, and the letter V. Boom. Got another ninja. So now you should have 3. And you can put these little motion lines going down like that now. Make it look nice. I'll draw one more. I want to draw this guy here. This guy jumping up in the air. Number 1, you know the steps. Sad face, happy face, triangle, triangle. I don't even have to draw on that side. Matter of fact, I could just go ahead and erase that little bit that I got right there. So I'll go sad face, number 1, sad face. And I'm just going to put rectangle. Let's put sad face, rectangle, sword, happy face. I'm not even going to draw the whole thing here. Happy face. Boom. I got a ninja coming into the screen. I'm going to go through this guy fast. Number 1, happy face, triangle. I'm only going to draw one side, triangle. Put a little happy face there. Put a rectangle right underneath. Rectangle for the thumb. Rectangle. Happy face, 1, 1. Connect the dots. And I don't even have to draw the whole thing. And that leg, you know how to draw that? Rectangle. You know how to draw that foot? Happy face. And I got one last guy over here coming in, charging, right? Number 1, happy face, number 1, happy face. This is all pattern. Same steps over and over. Rectangle arm, happy face, close it. Add another happy face if you want. Put your rectangle. Sad face, bring it back, drop a happy face there, put a number 1, happy face. If you could draw the whole foot, then draw the whole foot. It would look something like this. So I would draw the whole foot. I did sad face like that. I did a number 1, and I put one big sad face like this, maybe like that. And you could go and draw the whole foot, right? Like coming down. Boom. Finish your lines. Drop in your title. Here, let me take off these layers. So you see that I'm not going to totally cheat it, right? Triangle. Don't forget your name. And there you have a completed Usagi Yojimbo Attack by Ninja drawing. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you did it. Remember, in Japan, Mr. Rossi, #1. Very steady hands. Until the next video, be good to yourselves and to others.